This is the Superfly Elite.
Okay.
And what they've done here is they knew that they needed a shoe that could handle the pressure that a sprinter puts on it. But in order to make it as strong as it needed to be, they'd have to make the material much thicker and heavier. And both of those are, you know, less flexibility, good thing, but the extra weight, not a good thing. And so they wanted to figure out a way to do some of that. So they looked to natural sources, not to make them, but for inspiration. And so there were some marine creatures that had skeletal structures that are made out of hexagonal shapes, and a little like a beehive, you know, except these are, you know, they use calcium carbonate as the material. Here they've used plastics. They started with the 3D printed samples. They had some of the sprinters run in those, and then they were able to do injection molded plates from that. But they were able to do it much more quickly because they were able to get exactly what they wanted from the 3D printing. And so the shapes, there are all these hexagonal shapes that are of various sizes, and they're not all the sizes are equal, you know, and so some of them are elongated, and what it does is it keeps it very light because all the excess material is carved away, because they have an algorithm in the computer that enables them to figure out how to position the hexagons so that they provide the most strength and the lightest shoe that it can be, and scaled from Fraser Price's shoe is rather small because she's small. You know, the larger athletes, it scales very effectively up, you know, as you get to them in size 13. We're getting closer and closer to where automation makes a huge difference in some of those things, because 3D printing is the sexy new thing, you know. But it's not really practical to do it kind of across the board. But we have seen some plates that were made with 3D printing for probably 3 or 4 seasons or so. I mean, even going back to the previous Olympics.